with Donald Pleasance only at the end when they dragged him out of that the prison of Manhattan, and he was nice. I didn't really work with him. I just kind of was standing there watching him get made up to supposedly go on TV, I guess, as the rescued president or whatever the hell he was of the United States at that time. And but Lee Van Cleef, that was a different matter. He was a delightful, wonderful, wonderful guy, and a really good actor. And he was dying of cancer at the time that we made that film, and we all knew it. I mean, we had heard that going into it, but you would never have known it by being with him and working with him. He was the same as he had always been in all the movies I had ever seen him in, you know, full of life and vigor and energy. And he would, in between takes, go off and sit in a chair and smoke his pipe. He was a terrific guy, really good guy, and a nice actor. Thanks for the question. Yeah, I miss him too. So, she was in The Fog, and she was in a lighthouse. What the hell, what do they call the town?
Antonio Bay.
Antonio Bay, yeah. Yeah, she was in the lighthouse on Antonio Bay, and mainly on a set down in Hollywood at some studio. But the actual lighthouse was in Point Reyes, up there in California, which was just a beautiful, beautiful high cliff that came up off the Pacific Ocean. And you had to walk down about 150 steps to get to the lighthouse, which was in the middle of the cliff, and then walk up about 70 steps in the lighthouse to get to the top part. But and you could see down there at the ocean in the bottom, you could actually see gray whales migrating. I can't remember if it was north or south, what time of year it was. Well, it was warmish, so I guess they were heading south, I don't know, or north. But it was just gorgeous, beautiful, yeah. And we all stayed in these kind of A-frame cottages, but it was like a motel, but they were little like teepee-shaped things that were had your own fireplace, a little kitchen, bedroom. It was a wonderful experience being up there. That's my favorite location, yeah, I think. And I would say Budapest was also a favorite location, but the experience of the movie we made there, the ninth configuration, was not such a special occasion. But the town was great, Budapest was neat, and but the movie was, I don't know if any of you saw it, or if I don't think it turned out as nearly as well as it was on paper, but it didn't get onto the screen. Yeah. So, yeah, The Fog was my favorite location.
You didn't care that John was departing from Michael Myers and it was going to be a whole different thing?
It wasn't John's decision. It was, I think Halloween 3, by the day and other shows that I've been to recently is one of the most popular of the Halloween movies. And people are always asking for pictures from Halloween 3 and posters from Halloween 3. And when we set out to do it, John offered me the role, him and Tommy. John produced the film, but he didn't have much else to do with it. Howarth, a guy named Howarth, did the music, and Tommy came up with that 3 more days till Halloween. Boy, did we get tired of hearing that son of a bitch. Hey, so it was a terrific role for me, and I thought, this is great. And it never occurred to me that people would be upset because Michael Myers wasn't in it. I didn't give a shit if Michael Myers was in it or not. He didn't have anything to do with the story we were telling, so it was an all-around terrific experience. And Stacy Nelkin, Tommy called me one day and said, could you come over to the office? We're seeing the final 3 girls that we think are good for this role and would like you to meet them and read with them. And I said, yeah, sure. So I went and I can't remember the other 2 girls, but when Stacy walked in the room and we met and we read and she walked out and we all said, that's it, that's her, that's the one. And before she even left the building, I think they told her, okay, you got the role. So, and we had a great time shooting it. Again, that was up in California, north a little bit. Here's a story about that town. Tommy and Dean Cundy, the cinematographer on many of John's movies and that one, Halloween 3, they flew to Eureka and rented a car, and their plan was to drive down the little roads from Eureka back south toward LA. Look for the town to shoot Halloween 3 in. The very first town they came to was that town. And Tommy said, he told me later, he said, you know, we started going through that town and it felt like everybody was looking at us and wondering, why are we driving through their town? What are we doing there? Who are we? And he said, by the time we got out the other end, they said, we don't have to go any further. This is it. Let's shoot here. And they were able to get that old factory where the silver shamrocks were made, and cheap, I guess. It was closed down, and they rented that. Yeah, it was pretty bizarre. My actual first wife, Garn Stevens, played Marge, who was in the motel room next door to where me and Stacy Nelkin were. But me and Garn were husband and wife then. And I often think how weird that must be. Have your husband next door making out with some young girl while you're over there getting your face eaten off by some monster. Yeah, there you are. Halloween 3. And when people would come up to me in the beginning and say, I hated that movie, Michael Myers was in it, and I said, I didn't give a shit. I don't care.